What's good YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my Steel Path viable build for Nekros Prime, so if you want to see more content like this, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Please remember to hit that like button because it's really important for the algorithm. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell to be notified of all uploads and live streams, and don't forget to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below. Let's get into the video. Alright, so Nekros Prime, of course, normally only used for material farming. Nekros is actually incredibly good for the Steel Path because of his ability set. So, with my build specifically as well, he can survive very well on the Steel Path. So it's great if you need resources whilst doing Steel Path, you can do 2 in 1. And a lot of the mods that you get that are on this build, that I've put on this build, are actually decently easy to obtain other than the augment mods, which you get those from the syndicates, of course. Which you could always buy off someone for platinum, but let's jump into the build. Quickly, I should also point out, I did helmet Terrify for Gloom, because Gloom is incredibly necessary for this build. You need Gloom. Gloom is essential. So, looking at the left side, we have 125 armor, 500 energy, 740 health, 450 shields, sprint speed, duration 100%, efficiency 75%, range 100%, and strength 199%. So, we're running corrosive projection as the aura mod, which of course reduces enemy armor at max rank by 18%. Vitality for 440% health. We've got blind rage for plus 99% ability strength and negative 55 ability efficiency. We're running one of the augments, Despoil, which is a desecrate augment, no longer consumes energy but consumes 10 health per corpse instead. Adaptation, when damaged, 9.5% resistance to that damage type for 19 seconds, stacks up to 90%. His other augment mod, Shield of Shadows, Shadows of the Dead augment, each shadow within 50 meters takes 6% of the damage done to Nekros instead. Prime Flow for 250% energy maximum. Equilibrium, which is the main mod of this build, health pickups give 110% energy pickups give 110% health. And Streamline for 30% ability efficiency. Now, I don't have an Exilus mod on this because you don't need it, but I guess if you wanted to put one on, you could easily go ahead and put Power Drift on. Power Drift would actually help quite a bit, but it's not necessary. Along with stuff like Vigilante Pursuit, which is decent. Handspring would also be okay if you are using Kuva Brahma. Briel's Anguish would also be okay. Amar's Anguish, again, would be okay, but you don't need it. So that's the main build. Now, let's go quickly. So, the 3 main abilities we're going to be using are Gloom, Desecrate, and Shadows of the Dead. So as you all know, Desecrate allows enemies to drop additional loot. Shadows of the Dead then summons up enemies you've already taken out, and, you know, attaches them to you, which is also great because of the Augment mod, which allows them to take a lot of the damage that you would take, and of course Gloom to regenerate health. Along with shield gating, Nekros is pretty hard to take down on the Steel Path, but let's jump into a mission and I will show you what we can do. So we're here on Oxymoko in the Void. Let me quickly explain. So I used Oxymoko purely because it has every kind of enemy. I say this in every build. Oxymoko has every kind of enemy you could think of that includes heavy armor, shields, and health. So I use this place specifically just for that. But when you start, you want to give yourself energy, or at least gain some energy, and then activate Desecrate, and then start taking out enemies. So as you start taking them out, I'm using Kuva Brahma, by the way, just for ease of this, because it's very easy. Unfortunately, you know, I've got Prime Firestorm on, so it's very easy to get knocked back, unless I'm using a frame with no knockback. I would, of course, use Prime Short-Footed if I had Prime Short-Footed. I do not currently. So you want to take out some enemies to start with, so then you can activate Shadows of the Dead. Now, if you've got a powerful enough weapon, you can easily take out enemies without any risk to yourself. Of course, he ran straight into my thing. Very nice. So once we've taken out a few, let's activate Shadows of the Dead. And then let's pop Gloom. Now, we're basically indestructible, because we have everything we need, including our defenses. And then, of course, we have Equilibrium taking effect. So when we gain energy, we gain health, and when we gain health, we gain energy. Which, thanks to Desecrate, you get a good amount of health drops, which in turn gives you a lot more energy, because of course Gloom uses a lot of energy, because it's a continuously running ability. But because, of course, of having equilibrium and the health drops that convert to energy, you really don't run out of energy unless you run out of enemies. So if you're on an endless mission like defense or survival, you're pretty much set because enemies are pretty much constantly spawning. The good thing as well is normally having lower armor usually hampers frames on the steel path because of course they're so easy to take out. Nekros not so much, again because of his abilities. Because of course Shadows of the Dead being a thing, you don't take as much damage as you think you might. Don't get me wrong, you can still go down. You know, if you get careless, you can easily go down. But as long as you're actively playing and not worrying about it, you're fine. Of course, do try to keep in mind though, if you are using this to farm materials whilst doing this, do not use a weapon that dissolves the body. You want weapons that will break them apart. So, you know, weapons like Opticore or Arcoplasma that would usually disintegrate the body, you don't want that. You do not want that to happen because, of course, too... Am I going down? Wait, yeah, I was supposed to go down. Like I was saying, you don't want weapons that disintegrate the body. You don't want that. Because in order to get the drops, I mean, the build would still work with those weapons. It's just, obviously, you know, part of this build is to get drops whilst you're doing it, unless you don't care about that, in which case you could use whatever weapon you want. It's not a problem. But Shadows of the Dead is fantastic because it allows them to take the damage for you. I mean, you can still use Soul Punch if you want, but I'm unclear as to how much damage Soul Punch actually does, so I don't bother even using it. And thanks to the drops from Despoil, you also get a lot more ammo pickup, so weapons like Cooper Ammo really don't run out of ammo unless you run out of enemies. And like I said, because the way he is, he can just keep recycling and giving himself energy. It's ridiculous how much energy this guy can give himself.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Transferring still holding.
Bye-bye. There we go. So yeah, this is my Nekros build. If you want to see more content like this, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Please remember to hit that like button because it's really important for the algorithm. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell to be notified of all uploads and live streams, and don't forget to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below, and I will see you guys next time.